G'day and welcome to Running Australia. I'm Rob Malicki and this episode starts at Port Douglas. I don't know why I just did that. That was a bit stupid, but hey, let's go and do a little bit of a run outside Port Douglas. We're actually just up in the hills of the Mowbray National Park, and this is the bump track. So back when Port Douglas was like the main centre here, the main place where they could get mining materials onto boats and out of this area, this track was the first overland trail that made it easier for all of the inland mining communities to be able to get their stuff out of here and onto a boat somewhere else in the world. So we're just going to go up to the top of the sort of flat lookout bit here, 2.4 k's one way, nothing crazy. KOM is held by one Martin Dent, former winner of the City to Surf and very well respected Australian runner. I'm not going to be getting that KOM, but it's a beautiful day. So let's go running. All right, let's go do it. Oh. G'day. If you've seen my Running Australia episode on running in Atherton to Mount Baldy, you'll know that, man, I've been smashing some big uphill runs recently, and actually hurt my lower back, put my hips out a little bit. For those who enjoy their physiology, I'm pretty sure that I've hurt my QL, my quadratus lumbaris, I think it is. Kind of runs one of those big supporting muscles, hip flexors, connects down in your glutes and kind of connects up under your rectus spinae. Yeah, first few days afterwards it's very, very sore. I mean, had trouble sitting, walking was not comfy, so it's definitely not running. And been doing a lot of self-massage, stretching, very hard point to get into. You kind of have to lift up your rectus spinae in order to get your fingers in there to really massage it. It's finally starting to feel a little bit better, but this run, first run back from a mild injury, it's really just good to get out, get some fresh air, let the legs tick over, and just not do any damage. That's the main thing. I'd rather just take it easy and then get into a longer run in the next few days or a week. As always, just when you start feeling good again, it's very tempting just to go hard, and you don't want to lose any condition that you've built up. But of course you can make it worse, put yourself out of action for weeks instead of relatively quick recovery. So it's hard on video to get a perspective of how steep something is. Right now it's kind of climbing somewhere between 6 and 8%. This next little section kicking up to 10 to 12. Man, I tell you what, it'd be tempting to really run down here at speed. This is Slatey Pinch, drawn by up to 18 horses. So basically what it's explaining is that this is so steep, they would have about 10, 15, 20 horses or bullocks dragging carts up this slope. And every 20 or 30 meters, they would stop and chock the wheels of the carriages so the animals could have a rest. You can see here this last pinch, or this pinch, I don't know if it's the last one. This pinch is like 25% probably. Very steep, rocky. Wow, that's beautiful. slightly shallower gradient, and up through this rainforest, which just drops off the side into a very steep valley. A little bit of local knowledge always helps. So we've got a bench coming up, which is the bump, and then a little bit further there's the landing, which I think is the end of this Strava segment. Road to the landing, and then a little bit further we've got the creek. I think that's just about the most number of people I've seen on any run so far. I've seen 3, and I don't know, done some big runs in Australia where I haven't seen anybody. Shows this must be a popular track, which means not much further up to the landing. Oh yeah, I can see the skyline there. Tree line. Well, this is the landing. It's a flat bit, top of the first pitch. Took me 4 Ks, I think it was, to get up here. And friendly local just advised that I go a little bit further to the creek, which is another 15 minutes, maybe a bit too long for me today. But once we're up here, once you're up this high, it's kind of a shame to give away the altitude, isn't it? So let's go a little bit further, see what's out there. That's so nice. This track will suit both road runners and trail runners. Trail runners that like technical stuff will find it a little bit flat. Road runners will enjoy this. Holy moly. Yeah, this really is beautiful, isn't it? Look at this dense rainforest. You're not getting through there. You know what it's like when you're injured and you're not running, but at the same time you're still eating the same amount of food as when you are running, and every time you have a big meal you feel a little bit guilty because you know that your metabolism is slowing down, but it's just too hard to stop. Yeah, that's been me the last week. Eating too much. It's also probably part of the reason I'm so keen to get back into it, because I love to eat. Really enjoy my food. And at least if I'm running, I know I can indulge a little bit in whatever it might be here and there, and it's not going to do too much damage. Oh wow, this really is beautiful. What a stunning bit of trail. Just look up at the sky and the canopy, it's amazing. This is brilliant. We're running this track at the end of the dry season, which makes it kind of early October, and you can see that the track really is very dry. Rain could be coming any time now in Cairns and Port Douglas. Anytime. Oh, I'm reluctant to go down. If I go down, I have to come back up. But it's also starting to get late in the afternoon. You don't want to be out in the bush at night, particularly bush that you don't know. All right, we're going to run down to that little clearing and then we're going to turn around. Well, it's always that thing, isn't it? Hard to know exactly when you should be turning around, because it's starting to get a little bit late in the afternoon. Don't want to be stuck out in the bush at night, even though it's a very well marked trail and it's pretty much the only place you can come running here. So, you know, if I did get lost, they'd know where to come looking for me. But there's always that feeling, isn't there, that if you just continue like another 100 meters, maybe you'll get to that perfect turnaround point. The lady back there was telling me that there's a creek or something up here. She's like, run to the creek, it's beautiful. But I don't know, the creek could still be another 2 Ks away as far as I know. So this This is as good a place as any for us to turn around. Head back. This really is a beautiful run. If you follow that trail, it gives you about a 12k loop. Not loop, just 12k out and back. 6k's one direction, 6k's back, 12k's for the whole out and back. Which I'd love. And once you're up the first steep pinch, it's really not, this is gentle stuff. This is really nice running. It's beautiful, it's cool, but it is getting late and I do not want to be benighted out in the bush. I do carry a space blanket with me just in case. If I were to roll my ankle really badly now and not be able to walk, you want to be able to get found and you don't want to freeze. So space blanket, thermal insulation blanket is essential kit when you're doing remote running. And it's funny, I think a lot of people would come and run a track like this. It's only 8k's, 10k's out of Port Douglas, well-defined trail. They might just come up here and go to run it and not bring water, or not bring much water, certainly not bring a thermal blanket and other essentials. But at your peril, I'm also carrying my snake bite bandage. It's probably the most dangerous thing that could happen out here, is you're running and you surprise a dangerous snake that decides to jump up and spike you. One thing I've noticed over the last few days, one thing I'm noticing right now, I must admit, is that I've been stretching so much over the last couple of days. Quads, glutes, hammies, calves, back, neck, everything. And as a result, I'm actually feeling so much more limber running. It's one of those things, you need strength, of course, but ultimately, strength without fluidity is like strength that's working against itself. Such a good lesson just to remember to stop and stretch. I can feel my left ITB seizing a bit. That of course connects in with the glute, near the glute. Felt like a little twinge there. Hey, tell me a story. If you had a time where you didn't turn around when you were feeling good and it ended up being a disaster, hit me up in the comments if you've had a time when you've had a disastrous run because you didn't turn around when you were feeling good and you only turned around once you started to feel bad. Hit me up. This must be just such a bog in the wet. It just gets super wet, muddy. Oh, right now it's perfect. Oh, feel that breeze. Back at the landing, 2.4k's down. Now, the injury I've got is a result from like too much tension in my feet, quads, calves, ITBs, glutes, and eventually that's pulled my QL, which I've been stretching. And it means this part of the run is probably the part where I'm most likely to aggravate that again. You have a good flow, but not let my speed get too high, because that'll increase the load. I'm really focusing right now on picking an easy line where I can just ease down here. Oh, what a great run. As always, link to the Strava run down in the description below. I'll see you next time on Running Australia. Have a great day. Until next time, happy running. I'm Rob Licky.